All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Abhishek Mukhopadhyay. The headlines. Centre reviews preparedness to tackle novel coronavirus in the country. A new travel advisory issued urging people to refrain from visiting China. G7 countries to formulate a joint response to the epidemic. Campaigning for assembly elections in Delhi intensifies. Delhi High Court reserves its verdict on Centre's plea challenging stay on execution of 4 death row convicts in the Nirbhaya case. And in Australian Open, Novak Djokovic wins his record 8th men's singles title in Melbourne. Cabinet Secretary held a high-level review meeting on the preparedness for the novel coronavirus in New Delhi yesterday. The Cabinet Secretary has held 6 review meetings so far. A new travel advisory has been issued urging everyone to refrain from travel to China. In case of travel, people could be quarantined on return from China. Anyone with travel history in China since 15 January and from now on could be quarantined. 58,658 passengers from 445 flights have been screened so far. A total of 142 symptomatic travelers picked up by the Integrated Disease Surveillance Program IDSP have been referred to the isolation facilities. 130 samples have been tested, of which 128 have been found to be negative. The 2 positive cases found in Kerala have been monitored and are clinically stable. The second batch of 330 passengers, including 7 Maldivian citizens from Wuhan, arrived in India yesterday. Of these, 300 people are housed at the ITBP Chawla camp and 30 are in Manesar. They have been effectively monitored. Centre has written to all chief ministers of states in Union territories to keep a close watch on novel coronavirus outbreak. It has also assured the Kerala government of all help in dealing with the situation. 2 positive cases of coronavirus have been confirmed in the state. Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan said that government is keeping a close watch on the developments. He said people who are travelling from Thailand and Singapore to India have also been screened at airports as a precautionary measure.
As far as the government of India is concerned, we are doing our best to keep a close watch on every development around novel coronavirus. It started from China. The Prime Minister is personally monitoring everything. I am also in regular touch with the Kerala Health Minister on a daily basis. We have assured all possible support of all kinds to the Kerala Health Minister, and I have also personally written to all the Chief Ministers to keep close watch on impending developments on this front.
Medical experts say the coronavirus can be prevented by taking several measures. Talking to AIR News, Director, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, AIIMS, Delhi, Professor Randeep Guleria said this must be followed by the people particularly who have come from China. He said the measures will contain the spread of the viral infection.
Coronavirus is a respiratory virus. Droplet infection means that the virus spreads when someone coughs, and on coughing there are droplets produced in the air. These droplets carry the virus, and if someone else in the near vicinity inhales these droplets, the virus reaches his respiratory tract, causing the infection in the throat and in the lungs. To prevent infection, one must be careful while coughing. Cough into tissue or into handkerchief. If that is not available, cough into your elbow so that decrease the spread of the infection.
Indian Embassy in Beijing says that travel to India from China on e-visas temporarily suspended with immediate effect. This applies to holders of Chinese passports and applicants of other nationalities residing in China. Holders of already issued e-visas may note that these are no longer valid. The death toll in novel coronavirus in China has risen to 361, while 1 person succumbed to the disease in Philippines. Around 17,205 people have been infected with the virus in mainland China and 175 in other countries. According to Chinese authorities, 475 people have recovered following treatment. More from a correspondent.
China is racing against time as news of coronavirus infections mingled with the deluge of conflicting information tumbles out on a daily basis. A traditional Chinese medicine syrup has become the latest commodity in the panic buying spree on the heels of the frenzy over face masks. After a report cited its effectiveness, snaking queues could be seen outside pharmacies in the ground zero of Wuhan and many other cities, which also tripled its online prices. Such indulgent buying has also sprawled to masks, hand sanitizers, thermometers and staple food. Panic has also fueled discrimination examination as there are numerous reports of such cases against residents from Wuhan and discrimination abroad against Chinese people. Anshuman Mishra, IIR News, Beijing.
The G7 countries will formulate a joint response to the coronavirus epidemic. Germany's Health Minister Jens Spahn said that he talked on the phone with his US counterpart. He said they have agreed that there should be a discussion by the G7 health ministers to deal with the epidemic together. G7 comprises Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom and the United States. Meanwhile, Mongolia, Russia and Nepal have closed their land borders. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. With just 4 days left for campaigning for Delhi Assembly elections, political parties are leaving no stone unturned to woo the electorate. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address an election rally in East Delhi today. The rally will be held at the CBD ground in Karkarduma area around 2 p.m. Senior BJP leader and Home Minister Amit Shah will hold a roadshow today and address 4 rallies at Mundka, Sadar Bazar, Rajendra Nagar and Greater Kailash. BJP President JP Nadda will address 3 public meetings today in Shakur Basti, Model Town and Chandni Chowk. Yesterday, Delhi Chief Minister and AAP convener Arvind Kejriwal held a roadshow in Kirari constituency and addressed public meetings in Rithala, Lakshmi Nagar and Vishwas Nagar. Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia campaigned in Khichripur. AAP MP Sanjay Singh campaigned for party candidates in Karawal Nagar and Gonda. Rajasthan Deputy Chief Minister Sachin Pilot campaigned in Badli. Congress leader and former Haryana Chief Minister Bhupinder Hooda campaigned for party candidate in Mundka. Leader of the opposition in Bihar Assembly, Tejaswi Yadav, will address a rally with Delhi Congress leaders in Vikaspuri today. Congress and RJD are fighting Delhi Assembly elections together. Delhi will go to the polls on the 8th of this month to elect a 70-member assembly. Counting of votes will be taken up on the 11th. The Election Commission has relieved Deputy Commissioner of Police Southeast in Delhi, Chinmay Biswal, from his present post with immediate effect. He has been asked to report to the Ministry of Home Affairs. In view of the ongoing situation, the Commission has directed Mr. Kumar Gyanesh, Senior Most Additional DCP Southeast, to take charge of the DCP Southeast immediately from Mr. Biswal. The Election Commission has also asked the Ministry of Home Affairs and Commissioner of Police Delhi to immediately send a panel of 3 names to the Commission for posting a suitable officer as regular DCP Southeast. In Chhattisgarh, polling is underway for the third and last phase of 3-tier Panchayat elections. Polling in Maoist-affected areas will conclude at 2 p.m., while in the remaining parts it will continue till 3 p.m. Counting will take place an hour after the end of polling. The Delhi High Court has reserved its verdict on the centre's plea challenging stay on the execution of the 4 death row convicts in the Nirbhaya gang rape and murder case. Justice Suresh Kait said it will pass an order after all the parties concluded their arguments. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta told the High Court that there is a deliberate, calculated and well thought of design by the convicts to frustrate mandate of law by getting the execution delayed. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has called for mandatory inclusion of skilling initiatives at school level, saying schooling and skilling must go together. Mr. Naidu said that not enough attention was paid in the past to skills in the education system. He called for revisiting the education policy to make it compulsory for imparting skills to school students. He was addressing a gathering after inaugurating Residential Skilling Center of Deshpande Foundation at Hubli in Karnataka yesterday.
Education is for empowerment. Keeping that in mind, all our students, they should get enlightened, their knowledge should be enhanced, and they should become employable also. For getting employability, you need to have skilling. We have this high time that we revisit our educational policy and see to it that schooling and skilling go together.
Both the Houses of Parliament will today take up the motion of thanks on President Ramnath Kovind's address to the joint sitting of Parliament. In the Lok Sabha, Pravesh Sahib Singh Verma will move the motion, and in Rajya Sabha, it will be moved by Bhupender Yadav. On the opening day of the budget session of Parliament on Friday, President Ramnath Kovind had addressed the joint sitting of both the Houses. The News Services Division of All India Radio in its weekly bilingual live phone-in program Public Speak will bring a discussion tonight on Naye Bharat Ki Gati, Akankshaon और नागरिकों का Budget 2020. This can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. Listeners can ask questions to the experts sitting in a studio on toll-free telephone number 1800-115767. I repeat, 1800-115767. You can also ask questions on telephone number 011 2331 4444. I repeat 011 2331 4444 and post queries on a Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. You can also follow us on the News on AIR app for updates. This program is also available on Doordarshan DTH. Madhya Pradesh has bagged the first position for the implementation of the Pradhan Mantri Matra Vandana Yojana. Union Minister for Women and Child Development, Smriti Irani, will present this award to Madhya Pradesh at a function in New Delhi today. Indore district has also bagged the first place for better performance of the scheme. A report.
The main objective of Pradhan Mantri Matra Vandana Yojana is to provide incentives of 5,000 rupees for the loss of wages of working women and to ensure their proper rest and nutrition during pregnancy. The payment of the incentive amount is deposited directly into their bank account. In Madhya Pradesh, more than 14,55,000 beneficiaries have been registered under the Pradhan Mantri Matra Vandana Yojana. The first installment has been paid to about 13,40,000 women, while second installment to around 12 lakh and third installment has been paid to 8,80,000 beneficiaries. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
Preparations are in full swing for the 11th edition of the Deaf Expo 2020. The Deaf Expo will be held from 5th to 9th February at Lucknow in Uttar Pradesh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is scheduled to inaugurate the biennial mega defence exhibition. Our correspondent reports that during the exhibition, the entire spectrum of the country's aerospace, defence and security interests will be covered.
The theme of the Deaf Expo 2020 is India, the emerging defense manufacturing hub, and the aim is to bring the leading technologies in the defense sector under one roof and provide a myriad of opportunities for the government, private manufacturers and startups. A record number of over 989 exhibitors, including 165 foreign companies, have registered for the expo so far, making it the largest ever defense exhibition. Defense ministers and service chiefs of 18 countries have confirmed their participation. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
In Britain, 3 people suffered injuries in a terrorist attack in South London, during which Scotland Yard officers shot dead a terror suspect strapped with a hoax bomb. Prime Minister Boris Johnson, in a statement, reiterated plans for tougher sentences for convicted terrorists. He said they will today announce further plans for fundamental changes to the system for dealing with those convicted of terrorism offences. In tennis, Serbia's Novak Djokovic won his record 8th men's singles title in the Australian Open at the Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne yesterday. He beat first-time Australian Open finalist Dominic Thiem of Austria. The men's doubles title was clinched by Joe Salisbury of UK and American Rajiv Ram, who beat Australians Luke Saville and Max Purcell. And now, for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to VC Pramod.
Thank you, Abhishek. A day after the budget, the Financial Express quotes the government as saying, no plan to tax NRI's global income. No call yet on quantum of LIC stake sale, writes the Hindu. While the Times of India, quoting a Revenue Secretary Ajay Bhushan Pandey, writes, between two tax regimes, no one will be worse off. Taxpayers can opt for system that suits them. On the coronavirus outbreak, the Pioneer headlines, India ready to fight China virus. Suspends e-visa facility temporarily for Chinese. Second case reported in Kerala. Referring to the upcoming Delhi polls, Mail Today writes, Shaheen Bagh turns tinderbox in Delhi polls. The paper says that after 2 attacks, Netas rushed to deliver provocative speeches. Locals clash with anti-CAA protesters as cops struggle to maintain peace. And finally, scientists to digitally recreate the Chola dynasty port city in Tamil Nadu, swallowed by sea 1,000 years ago. With that, it's back to you, Abhishek.
Thank you, Pramod. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Centre reviews preparedness to tackle novel coronavirus in the country. A new travel advisory issued urging people to refrain from visiting China. G7 countries to formulate a joint response to the epidemic. Campaigning for assembly elections in Delhi intensifies. Delhi High Court reserves its verdict on Centre's plea, challenging stay on execution of 4 death row convicts in the Nirbhaya case. And in the Australian Open, Novak Djokovic wins his record 8th men's singles title in Melbourne. And for details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.